How does one avoid buying a home in a neighborhood or area that is about to see a housing crash? Well, of course, the national data is important. Interest rate trajectory, what's going on with the national inventory levels, supply and demand, all those things are important. But what's more important are the specific economic information and data that's happening in the micro market that you are buying a home. As the saying goes, real estate is all about location, location, location. But more importantly, what is the microeconomic data in that area as it relates to jobs being created, the trend of wage growth, what's happening with supply and demand in those areas, and how many potential buyers are likely to come to market. And that's why we've created the neighborhood report card. This gets specific into the zip code or neighborhood you're interested in buying in, and will give you the microeconomic data that you need to anticipate whether home prices are likely to continue going up or going down. I'm going to guide you through the neighborhood report card, which of course can be customized based on your location as well as the price range of the home that you're looking at, because the location information for $1 million home may be very different than the location information for a $200,000 home. So this is completely customizable based on your particular needs and what you're looking for in a home. And the important thing to remember is we're looking for the supply and demand potential imbalances that can either lead to a crashing housing market or continuation of appreciation. I'll guide you through the report card, starting with the forecasted appreciation. We're looking at area code 84112, which is the area immediately around the University of Utah Hospital System in Salt Lake City, Utah. The first thing that we'll show you in this neighborhood report card is the forecasted appreciation for this market. And then it will give you a justification why it anticipates that appreciation or depreciation in the market. The first thing that you'll notice here is that over the next 5 years, the forecasted appreciation is approximately 4.81% per year, cumulative over a 5-year period of time. That would be 24% appreciation, or a increase in the home price of $140,167. And it shows you the cumulative appreciation of the home over that 5-year period of time. It'll then give you your historical numbers for this area. Over the last 5 years, the historical appreciation has averaged 9.15%. So we've seen incredible appreciation in this area over the last 5 years. Over the last 10 years, 7.73%. And over the last 63 years, the neighborhood is appreciated at 4.46%. So you can see that the forecasted appreciation is drastically less than the 5 or 10-year average and just slightly above the 63-year average. The next thing that we go into with the neighborhood report card is supply and demographics. It's going to tell you that there are 7,657 new home permits happening in this area over the last year. So that's the potential new supply of homes coming to market. That's very important because we need to weigh the new home supply against the potential demand to make sure that demand is likely to exceed supply, and therefore we anticipate prices to go up. I'm going to come back to this number in a moment, but just be aware this is the number of new home permits for that area, and that is indicative of the number of homes that are likely come to market over the next year. Now you can see that in this area, we have a 4% increase in the number of active listings month over month, and a 31% increase in active listings year over year. That's important. It tells you that the inventory levels have grown significantly over the last year. What you would need to analyze if that's a potential problem for your market is a little more context. In other words, a year ago, I can tell you that in this market, we had about 3 weeks supply of homes, meaning that if no new homes come to market, every home on the multiple listing service would have been sold in 3 weeks. Now that amount of supply is up to about 3 months. That's still a little bit short of a market that you would think a balanced market usually has 4 months. So 3 months supply is still a little short. It's still leaning towards a seller's market versus a buyer's market, but we want to keep our eye on the fact that the inventory level has expanded precipitously, or that the inventory level has expanded significantly, I should say, from the year before. And there's been 85 new homes brought to market in the last 5 days. So this is just giving you a flow of supply coming on the market, both from new homes as well as existing homes that have been listed for sale. I'm going to jump down now into demographics, because this is where we get into potential demand, and this is going to be important for our analysis. And for context, the average age of a first-time home buyer currently is 38 years old. So this tells us that 18 to 26-year-olds, there's 172,000 in this metro, and 27 to 35-year-olds, there's 201,000. Now that's important because these folks are approaching the age of becoming a first-time home buyer. That means that there's likely going to be lots of demand for starter homes or first-time homes. And then that demand enables the people that have already owned a home for the first time to sell their home and to buy a second home. The average age of a second-time home buyer is actually about 46 years old. So this is strong demographic information, because it tells you there's 201,000 potential first-time home buyers, and there's 175,000 potential second-time buyers in this market. This is strong demographics. What we wouldn't want to see is that 2/3 of the age of the people that live in this metro are 55 to 64. They're not typically transacting as often. And if we had very low younger demographics and very high older demographics, that could potentially tell you that there could be a drop in the amount of demand for housing. This piece is very important. I want to go over homeowners and renters, and specifically how it relates to the amount of supply of homes coming to market. Because someone might say, wow, 7,657 homes, that's a lot of new construction. That might be too much supply. Well, compared to what? We want to compare it to the potential demand out there. So this tells us that in this metro area, 70% of the populace is a home owner. So there's 844,000 owners, and 30% of the populace are renters. And then this breaks it down into either further detail, which I find so helpful, in saying that of this 30% that are renters in this metro, 7% are renters who can afford to buy. That's because this takes into consideration the amount of income that the people inside of this metro and renters are earning, and I'll show you how that fits into the affordability index next. But this gives you context that there's 89,000 renters that can afford to buy, and there's only 7,000 homes coming to market. That makes this number feel a lot more comfortable or approachable, because your number of renters who can afford to buy vastly exceeds the amount of homes coming to market in this metro. Now we'll get into income and affordability, and how do we get to this 7% of renters who can afford to buy? Well, the median household income in this area is $103,000 for this particular metro. That's household income, not individual income. The national average is $80,000. So you can see that the household income is roughly 25% greater than the national average, which is important. And it goes so far as to create an affordability index for this metro. So at 100, a household earning the median income of $103,000 can afford the median home price with 20% down. Well, unfortunately, the affordability index for this area is not 100, it's at 83. And that means that everybody with a median income and 20% down cannot qualify. And that's why you see here that only 7% of the 30% that rent homes can actually afford to buy. So this tells me that even though we're in a period of lower affordability because we have elevated interest rates right now, you still have a large cohort that can afford to buy, and you have very good demographics of both first-time home buyers and second-time homebuyers. Clearly, this information alone is not justification to buy a home in this neighborhood. Every buying decision is personalized, but this gives you context and information to help guide your decision. As I always say, prescription before diagnosis is malpractice. So we'd want to take this information in context with your situation and then provide additional information about what other concerns or information you would need in order for you to make an informed decision that's right for you and your family. Click on the link in the description if you would like us to create your own personalized neighborhood report card and answer questions for you on how your situation might fit into the local market.